Hello Pisces, and welcome to my channel Inspiring Life Changes. My name's Colette and I'm here today to do a reading for Pisceans that are Sun, Moon, Venus and Rising Pisceans or Pisces. If you don't know where those placements are, there will be a free natal link in the description box down below for you to go and check it out for yourselves, to find out more about your astrological makeup, and also because this is just a general read, it's not going to resonate with all you Pisceans out there. You may find if you go and check out one of those other placements that message makes more sense to you and you can resonate with it better than you can this one. Also, if you Piscean cross watchers out there, this reading may actually resonate more with you for yourself and find that it is actually more your story than it is the person that you thought that you were going to watch the reading for or about. So just be aware of that as well, cross watchers. So Pisces, you've just had Mars move into your sign, and I kind of get the feeling, looking at your reading, that it's having quite an effect on you, Pisces. Mars is all about our courage, it's about our actions, it's active, it's doing, it's very masculine energy, it's the warrior energy. And in Pisces, in your own sign, it kind of, I feel as though it's going to be a lot of soul searching. I think there's going to be a lot of soul searching for a lot of people, but because it's actually in the sign of Pisces, I think you Pisceans are going to be affected by it more deeply than other signs or people who've got lots of Pisces makeup in their astrological chart. So that's a good reason to know where your placements are, where the planets are in your own natal chart as well. So you might want to go and find that out for yourselves if you don't already know that. So the reading today, Pisces, has kind of left me a little bit like, whoa, what is going on here, Pisces? It's quite intense, to say the least. Normally, I would pull the Crystal Diva cards. When I'm pulling my cards, I would leave them to the last, but today, for some reason, I did it first, and I got two of the Crystal Diva cards come out for you. I also got two of the Namaste blessing cards come out for you as well, and I kind of thought, well, you know, Pisces, two fish, we'll take that, because it is about kind of two fishes swimming in the opposite direction is the symbolism for Pisces energy. But it's also about one fish kind of representing the human side of ourselves and the other one representing more of the spiritual side of ourselves. And that, I feel, is what's coming through for you in this reading today, Pisces. I don't normally do a kind of quick run through of the actual story itself, but today I just feel that it was needed because there is a lot going on here, and you're starting your reading, Pisces, with this major Arcana card of the Devil. And for me today, it's kind of representative of the Mars energy. The Devil, well, Mars as well, being about courage, it can also represent deeper fears as well on some level. And the Devil himself also represents the deeper fears here. Devil energy can be things that we are addicted to, things that we find it difficult to let go of. It can be an energy of feeling as though we're chained to something, as though we have to do something because we're driven by our fear of something as well. If you look here, his helmet is down over his eyes, so he can't see. He's not very visually aware. Also for me today, with this horned mask as well, has a very kind of Aries Mars look about it for me today. That's what's coming across for me as well. So you may be kind of having to work with this energy because this is the kind of overall energy for the reading today. I normally pull just one major arcana card from this deck to give me a kind of overall influence of the reading, overall picture. And this is the card that you got. For me, it's about fears. It's about that kind of temptations for things. But today I just feel as though it's more to do with the Mars energy in your sign and a kind of need to look deeper. Soul searching is what's really coming out for me today with this reading. It's all about soul searching. So this may be also about you having to kind of have the courage to go to places within yourself that you normally wouldn't want to go to. And maybe even to let things go as well that you normally wouldn't want to. Because Pisces energy is all about surrender and letting things go. You have Neptune there as well, which is the ruler of Pisces. So you've already got your own planet in your home sign. And so that's also having a big effect on you Pisceans at this moment in time. And I feel on some level that it could also have something to do with the energy on the globe as well. What's happening, the whole kind of fear element here. Feeding that fire, feeding that fear, feeding that worry, and that, especially seeing as it's around this area of the solar plexus energy. And there's a lot of that going on at the moment as well. There is a lot of fear being fed into us. And so I just kind of feel that on some level it is also about the warrior standing up, having the courage to go to places that normally you wouldn't want to kind of look. But I will get deeper into this reading and explain more about that as we go along. You have the High Priestess in reverse here, Pisces, which is the card of the watery realm of emotions, really. It can represent your own energy, Piscean energy, Scorpio energy, and also the my brain has completely gone blank now. I'm going to say this happens a lot. Pisces, Scorpio, and Cancer. How could I forget you Cancers? All of you have this watery kind of sensitivity, this intuitive, this kind of knowing things, this kind of inner realm, shall we say, that you work in. It's the realm of poets and sensitive people, musicians, artists, creatives, creativity. But it's in reverse. And for me, I kind of get the feeling that this is you needing to kind of submerge yourself within that realm of the unknown, of the yet to be decided, the kind of can even be to do with the psychic realm as well for some of you Pisceans. It can be a psychic energy that you're kind of reluctant, shall we say, to actually kind of tune into and actually kind of acknowledge as a side of yourself, as who you are. It may be something that you're really kind of trying to that maybe you even see it as something that's like, you know, this kind of, I wouldn't say devil energy, but something that's not acceptable. something that you find within yourself. You may accept it more outside of yourself with other people. You may not have so much of a problem, but when it comes to your own psychic abilities, you may be feeling that you're not wanting to go there. Also, I feel that this card at the moment has something to do with suffering. It has something to do with you being very tuned in to everything that is going on in the world. And maybe that's also got something to do with this torment here as well. Maybe you are feeling tormented at this moment in time, Pisces, as well, because you do pick up on so much. And I kind of feel on some level that you're picking up on all this global suffering. And it's kind of magnified in you. And you don't really know how to cope with it or how to deal with it or what to do with it. But it's making you feel very uncomfortable as well. And over the top of this energy, this watery kind of psychic realm, emotional energy, we have the Six of Earth. And for me today, I've never noticed this really before because my focus has mostly been around this kind of area before. But today I've kind of really noticed how kind of disembodied this head looks. It's just kind of this head that's just there. It's just kind of hanging there. And it kind of, I feel that it has something to do with this energy as well. This feeling of being disembodied, of you being kind of so open and yet not wanting to be so open. So you're trying not to feel everything that you're feeling. And this, I feel, is all this kind of decoration here is you kind of picking up on all this outer stuff that is causing you to feel hyper sensitive here. Also, I noticed as well this kind of mark on his forehead here today. Excuse my finger, it got ripped. There's this kind of real, this mark there. It's very difficult to see, but it's coming over for me today along with this star here on this helmet. And also there's a similarity with the fact that this is kind of a horned beast and this is a horned beast as well. And in some ways I'm feeling this energy as well of the two different aspects of Pisces. Like this is the more spiritual side of it and this is the more human side of it. This could also have something to do with anger, the emotions that you're trying to kind of calm and kind of contain and not get too upset by it, because I feel on some level that it's making you quite disturbed here. This deep sense of kind of a feeling of something that's affecting you very deeply on a bigger scale, I feel, than normally, because you're already very sensitive beings, Pisces. But I feel at the moment, with everything that's going on our planet, you're kind of really tuned into it. And you're really kind of picking up on it. And it's kind of making you feel... I just get this kind of disembodied, that you're kind of out of your body, but... yeah, that you're not grounded, that you're kind of floating around somewhere. Your mind maybe is also kind of elsewhere, or your feelings, your But I feel as though you're feeling at this moment, Pisces, that you are kind of out of control of something. And this could have a lot to do with the fact that we do have Mars in your sign now. And like I was saying, Mars is courage, it's action, doing. And so this soul searching, which has also come out for me in this card here, and it's also come out in this card here, which is the energy. This is what's in your head and what you're aware of. And there is this kind of, again, reluctance. This is the call. So this is also known as the card of judgment here. And normally it would represent kind of laying things to rest. A bit like, you know, Last Judgment Day, of calling up the ghosts and the things that you have to let go of, the past situations. And this to me is always a ghost of the past. This is what's moving away from you. This is the energy that's been around for a while. And I feel that this is your kind of feeling with everything that's going on globally. It's kind of bringing all this up for you. It's kind of bringing up all this, all your past sufferings, all the things that you have emotionally experienced that have been really upsetting for you. It's kind of taking you to a place that you don't necessarily feel very strong as well in at this moment in time. And like I was saying, it's kind of feeding that fire. Well, there's all very kind of, I mean, the Call and the Judgment card have a kind of, for me, energy of, sorry, the Call card, which is the Judgment card, and the Three of Air, the Three of Swords here. Often in other decks you will see the Three of Swords as kind of representing heartache, suffering, things that have caused emotional imbalance. So I'm just getting this kind of energy from these three cards of you being kind of out of your body in a way, like with this here as well. There's a sense of you picking up on things from a higher, from kind of, yeah, from outside of yourself. And a much higher, but it's kind of connecting you with your own suffering, your own emotional pain and hurt that you may not, Pisces, have dealt with, that you may still be having to recognize. Well, there's just this kind of feeling of it being very otherworldly, the place that you're in at the moment, Pisces. Maybe even form of escapisms as well. Maybe it's kind of you trying to escape from all of that, what you're feeling, and not wanting to go there, not wanting to look at it, not wanting to acknowledge it, and kind of, yeah, that's kind of what I'm feeling. Because it's all upside down. I will say this today. All of your cards have come out in reverse, Pisces, which is one of the reasons I was like, whoa, what is going on with Pisces at the moment? There is just like every single card on the table is in reverse. And the Four of Fire here for me today which is normally about that creative drive and that kind of fiery passion, fire representing creativity, also representing the kind of 3 lower chakra energies here as well, which is kind of feeding this fear element within you, because I think it is bringing up some deep sensing of fear. And with the 4 in reverse here, again I get the feeling of Mars being in your sign. And I'm really kind of drawn to this hole, like this emptiness, like something that's just kind of aching. Like you're really kind of almost like with this trumpet here, this very long kind of Gabriel trumpet, because this is Gabriel, I do believe, Angel Gabriel, who's blowing the trumpet here. This really long trumpet or horn, whatever you like to call it. And there's an instrument here as well. It's almost like you're not wanting to heed that call. Like you're being called to something, but you're not wanting to kind of recognize it. This emptiness, this kind of hole here, this kind of something missing is what I'm kind of feeling today. There's something missing, something that isn't complete, like you've lost a part of yourself. Or there was a part of yourself that you that was never fully developed or acknowledged or allowed to be a part of who you are. So we have in your last placement here the energy that's moving in, again another reverse card, the Patience card, or the card of Temperance, which literally is kind of this energy of waiting for something to change, I feel. That you need to, or you're feeling as though you're going to be feeling as though you need to feel as though you've been waiting and waiting and waiting, and nothing has kind of changed, nothing's kind of moved on. Like this hole is still there, it's still kind of this emptiness, and you're wondering how you can go about changing that, how you can go about filling it, how you can go about sustaining something within yourself. So it is an interesting, and it's a really deep and intense read, Pisces. It's very kind of, I know there's like a mixture of energies going on here, like a sense of something very sorrowful and very sad, and also something very very confusing and very emotional, very I'm going to put it very just a huge awareness. I'm just feeling like there's this really big awareness around you of this kind of energy of suffering, and that you're really kind of tuning into it, picking up on it really, and feeling it really strongly. Let's see what else comes out. Let's see what else we have here. What else does Pisces need to know with this reading today? You've got 3 major arcana cards as well. High Priestess, Judgment, and Patience or Temperance. Temperance can also be about balancing things within yourself as well. That balance, which is what I think this missing thing is. And I don't think it is so much a person, although it could relate to a person. It could relate to a situation that is missing in your life, that you're kind of becoming aware of. Because this placement where it is in your reading itself is in the subconscious realm, so it's the energy that you may not be so aware of yourself, and this is the energy that's moving in. And it also has a sense with this card here of this need to balance with the 6 of Earth, because that can also relate to an energy of receiving and giving, so that there's a balance of both energies there. And that's kind of what this card is also about, a balance needed for, and I'm feeling it's more about emotions, a balance between your emotions and your environment somehow, like the physical world that you live in and your actual emotions, how your emotions really affect everything around you. And really throw you off balance as well. If your emotions aren't I wouldn't say controlled, because I don't think that emotions are things that you can easily control, especially if it's on a kind of very psychic, deeper, intuitive, kind of gut level feeling of things as well. I'm kind of feeling that that's the issue here, that's something very deep, especially with that devil energy there as well. And soul searching is the kind of expression that keeps coming up in my head. There's a soul searching energy about this. We got too many cards again. Too many cards. So we have the Knight of Pentacles, which is saying to me that something has been long and slow in coming to pass. There's been a long time, and that could also be this Patience card here as well. That something is taking its time in happening. The 7 of Swords is saying to me that you may well have kind of been keeping yourself in the dark, that you may well have been keeping yourself to yourself, playing your cards close to your chest, because things could be overwhelming as well at this time. It can also be a card of deceit and lies. It could be your energy, it could be somebody else's energy. But it can also be to do with, although it is in reverse again, so I would say that it's probably more to do with of something not being as it seems, shall we say, that somebody has, so that one was not in reverse, that somebody was not being open and honest with their not being open and honest with their communication, with their actions, with their with the way that they treated you. But I'm feeling it on a bigger level as well, that at this time you may also be feeling that there's a lot of deceit and lies going about around you, because you are super sensitive, intuitive, psychically picking up on things. You may also be feeling that you're not necessarily being given all information that you need here as well, or being told the truth. And the Wheel of Fortune in reverse is saying to me here that you're just feeling as though things are just doom and gloom at this time. You can't see anything positive. It just all seems very doom and gloom kind of energy. 7 of Cups is a lot of confusion in your emotional life, in your body, in your kind of awareness, in reverse especially. You're not able to make sense of what's going on around you or within you. The Chariot, which is also in reverse, is saying there's a feeling of just being stuck, of not being in control, which could also have something to do with this energy here as well, of not feeling as though you're in the driving seat, as though somebody else has kind of has taken over. And I'm just feeling this on a larger scale, Pisces. I'm just feeling that this is something to do with everything that is taking place within our lives individually, collectively and globally, and you're really kind of just really kind of immersed in it all. Just really, that's kind of what I'm feeling. You're just really immersed deeply in it, and you're not seeing any positive outcome. You have the 10 of Cups, which for me is also about this balance, this need for this balance, this need to kind of, you're searching, your emptiness. It could also be that you have had this, or you are still within this. This may be something that gives you that balance. You may have this relationship where somebody really you feel as though they understand you really deeply, and you really understand them as well. This is kind of one of those matches made in heaven, shall we say. That you were meant to be together, you were meant to meet, everything about it feels right. That this person maybe is also kind of your rock. And you may also have a fear of losing this. And I just feel that it's kind of bringing up a lot of what ifs. This could happen, that could happen. And just making you super sensitive, like so what's the word, just so yeah, just super sensitive, so kind of open to the, I'm just getting psychic realm, really, the kind of psychic realm, just the, but on a deeper, more kind of suffering awareness level rather than anything else. and that it is kind of playing into your own worries, your own fears, your own emotional stresses, your own emotional memories maybe as well. Bringing up things for you from the past that you maybe had thought were you'd left behind. You thought that that was it. You dealt with them. They were done. They were never going to be re-seen or relived again. But in your head and what you're aware of with this calling card here, this judgment card, this card of hearing something beyond your sight. I think that's also something to do with this, Pisces, as well. It's like it's something beyond your sight, something beyond the physical realm. And you have the Five of Wands, which is you kind of battling with your internal demons and your internal dragon, which represents, for me, this energy here. This devil energy is represented by this dragon here. And again, I feel that this is kind of important because she is kind of the rock here that holds you up. And I'm not saying that this is a codependent relationship, but I do feel that you feel that if you were to lose this, it would all fall apart. For some of you, maybe you have lost it, and maybe that is what's going on. Maybe it has all fallen apart, but I'm not getting so much that sense of that. It's more a sense of it's bringing up a lot of fear of what could be rather than what is. What if this happens? What if that happens? And this is the energy of that. Again, I feel as though this is the kind of Mars energy that's kind of lost its courage and its courageousness, and it's having to kind of look at things on a deeper, more spiritual kind of level. The King of Pentacles here is this very stable, and I feel it's not so much your energy, Pisces, as it is this other person, this kind of energy of somebody who's very grounded within themselves, who's very capable. They're very a very strong character. They're very grounded, like I was saying. They're very earth. They're very connected, and they're very strong. I'm just getting this sense of like they really do know who they are as a person. That they're very aware of their abilities. And it could also be somebody who's financially, they're very smart as well. Somebody who can make the finances stretch enough if you don't have enough at a given time, if the money's not kind of flowing to you, this person has the ability to kind of be resourceful. With a strong personality. And you have also this card with the Hangman here, which is your kind of energy, Pisces, the kind of surrendering, letting go. And maybe that's the fear element here as well. It's like the fear of the letting go, that you're feeling more and more that you're having to let go of things that have made sense to you up to now. And it's not like the Tower, it's not like it's kind of being swept away. It's just a general, gradual kind of like on a rock with like the sea constantly kind of grinding it down after, like, you know, billions of years and kind of changing the landscape and what have you. It's that kind of energy that I'm feeling. It's not more of a kind of, you know, sudden change of everything, but there's this kind of feeling here that you are reluctant to kind of let go and go with the flow of what's happening to you at this time, and going where your emotions want to take you, for you to be able to see things in a different way, because it's bringing up your fears, because it's making you hypersensitive. You really don't want to feel it or see it or acknowledge it. It's kind of like, you know, you're trying to hold back the tide in some way. And you have the Three of Wands here as well. But this is upright. And this is saying to me that what is being offered you here, what is being offered to you, which I feel is this kind of diving into this realm, this kind of psychic awakening. Because I feel that that's what this is about. It's about a psychic awakening. Almost like you're feeling, when I was saying about this disembodied energy, almost like you're feeling like you are kind of, how can I put it? Like you're part of everybody else's suffering. And they're a part of yours. And you're feeling really strongly connected to it. But at the same time, you're feeling disconnected or out of your body, this sense of kind of like I was saying, disembodiment. But I feel as though it is this kind of psychic awakening, and it's being offered to you here with this crown, because the crown always for me represents the higher energies, the crown chakra, which is literally where the crown comes from. That's why we have crowns, why royalty wear crowns, because it symbolizes that energy which is connected to the divine of everything, the connection to the universe. That's basically what a crown is supposed to represent, although it's completely lost its meaning these days. That is the original meaning of crowning these people. So it's like, for me, in this card, you being offered this is you being offered something that's like really going, I feel as though it's going to change the course of your life. If you can go with it, if you can allow yourself to accept it and flow with it and see where it wants to take you and keep kind of surrendering to it. And I think that's also what this is about as well. This kind of waiting, it's kind of surrender, let go, come back, surrender, let go, come back. And it's kind of in little bits, like little steps. It's not all in one go. Like I was saying, it doesn't feel like it's like this massive, just like tidal wave, like the tower energy. It doesn't feel like that. It feels more of a kind of slow process. And that's kind of what I'm feeling for you here, that this is about taking you on a new journey, somewhere different, somewhere you haven't been yet, and experiencing something that you have yet to experience that could lead you, because it's come out over the top of this energy, which is this calling card, this judgment, this kind of, are you listening to this? You know it's there, you know it's on the kind of outskirts of your awareness. It's kind of just there. And I feel as though it's a kind of huge opportunity for you. But it does involve you kind of having to look at your own suffering and really kind of feeling it on a connected level of everything around you. And I feel as well that maybe that's what this is about here, that you've always been that way, but you weren't allowed, almost like it was stopped, almost like this kind of... So maybe that's also why you feel that that was wrong, and why you've kind of fought against it. But it's kind of like, it's who you are. It's what you're supposed to do, Pisces. It is a part of you. You can't escape it. Struggle. 9 of Wands. And for me, this is kind of saying that you're feeling as though you're being... And I think this is the... I know I'm kind of saying a lot of things all at the same time because I've got a lot of things coming through here. Okay. The control that I was speaking about earlier when I kind of mentioned the control. And also with this card here, I do believe I kind of said with this here, almost like something's controlling you. Possibly it is your own fears that are controlling you, but also like there's something bigger than that outside of yourself. And I feel that this is your life, this is the boat here, and it's kind of a feeling of you steering your life in a direction where you just keep coming up against the rocks and you're not able to get through them. So you keep kind of coming up, getting to this point in your life, shall we say. And I feel that it causes you a lot of suffering, and it causes you a lot of grief, and it causes you a lot of upset and kind of emotional disturbance. Also kind of intellectually, or kind of yeah, intellectually, in the sense that it's all in your head. It's like you create it, you make it worse somehow by logically trying to work this out. You're logically trying to work it out when in fact it's not such a logical thing as it is a real emotional. It's that how can I put it? It's that kind of, I just keep getting psychic realm. It's kind of that psychic realm which you can't explain logically. It's all about this deeper knowing, this deeper feeling, this deeper awareness. And I feel, Pisces, that somehow it's like this has been happening to you a lot in your life. That this has kind of been like taking you down certain roads, and then you kind of get to a certain point where you pull back and you kind of go, no, I'm not going any further than that. I'm not going down that road again. I'm not, you know, you won't take that extra step, because the 9 is also about, like, you know, the extra step, the last step before the 10. And I feel on some level it's about when it gets too real around you, when you kind of feel as though it's like it's coming into your reality, into your physical world, that you kind of take that step back again and go, no, no, not going there. But you keep ending up in the same place. That's what I'm kind of feeling. You keep ending up in the same place. And this, let me just say quickly as well, that this here is the future, if you like, that you're trying to get to. This is the calmer waters and the more serene energy and the peace and the quiet and the kind of understanding and acceptance is how it's coming across for me today. But you just keep getting caught up in all this emotional turmoil. And just kind of pulling back. I just get pulling back. It's almost like you almost go under, which is what this is about. It's almost like you almost submerge yourself. You almost get to that point where you're going to kind of let go and allow it and kind of yeah, just allow it to let go, to kind of take that step into the next level. But there's this fear that holds you back each time. This fear stops you from actually going to that place, that point. So let's see why the Four of Fire is here, Pisces. Why is the Four of Fire here for Pisces, Sun, Moon, Venus and Rising energy? Four of Fire. While I'm waiting for a card, I will just say thank you to anybody who has subscribed to my channel and who has liked my videos. Please could you thumbs up this video and like this video for me, because it does help to get it out into the bigger YouTube world, where it can then get out and be heard by other people, more people who may also be in similar situation, who this may resonate with for them as well. And if you know of anybody who you feel could benefit from this reading, please could you also share it with them. Also tap the bell if you want to receive any of the videos I'm going to be putting out in the future. We don't seem to be getting anything for this Four of Fire at the moment. And also for anybody who's interested, my email is in the description box if you're interested in a personal reading with me, where we can go deeper into your own story. So with the Four of Fire here, we have the Ace of Wands, which is all about a creative energy. A very creative energy, but somebody who's very creative, somebody who's very driven, very, again you see this purple cloak here. So to me it talks of something that's kind of divinely inspired. But we also have this King of Swords energy here as well. And I do get the feeling that this is about something that wasn't, like this creative energy is what has been kind of not allowed to really develop. And that this sword of energy here this kind of harder, harsher environment here, if you like. There's been a blockage, like somebody has been blocking this energy here. And so what I'm kind of getting from this, give me a moment. Because this is your subconscious realm, this is what you're not so aware of, is that this creative fire energy here, which is also very kind of sexual passion energy as well, it's that driving energy, again it's that very Mars energy. This is the energy that has kind of, because this is fire as well, this is also that creative energy, but I feel as though this is what's been feeding this. There's something I'm picking up something about kind of this desire. There's like a desire that's kind of not being met, it's kind of missing, it's kind of something within you, Pisces, that you have been wanting to fulfill. And it's being driven by this energy here, but it's being blocked by this energy here. Because this is the logical brain, this steps in, this is what steps in, this is what stops you from going that extra step, is this energy here. This logical energy of like, does it make sense? Is it scientific? That kind of thing. You know, it's kind of very logical. It's very analytical. It's very kind of like, if it doesn't make sense, if I can't analyze it, if I can't see it, if I can't, then, you know, I can't. There's just this logical side of yourself here, Pisces. It's this, and I don't feel as though it is just your logical side. I feel that this is a logical energy that has somehow been taken on board by you because of other people's, and I feel that this is possibly also to do with this devil energy here as well, other people's conditioning and ideas and belief systems and affecting your energy, affecting your hesitate to use the word integrity because there's a million different things behind the word integrity, but it is almost like you have not, I feel, been allowed to fulfill and satisfy this part of yourself because it has been blocked from you from a very young age. By this energy here. This energy, whoever this person was, Pisces, in your life, and they may still be in your life now, and that may also be a reason why you don't want to take that extra step, because you would have to keep kind of confronting this energy here, this person, this character. Somebody who sees things from a very, very logical, analytical headspace. Somebody who's not in contact with their emotions in the same way that you are, Pisces. And you may clash quite a lot as well. because you see things differently. You feel, they analyze. They're all in their head, you're all in your emotions, in your emotional body. Doesn't have to be a man, it can be a female, but it's just the energy that's coming through here. There is a discernment with this person, and there is a sense of fairness as well. And I'm not saying that they're cruel or unkind, but they're somebody who just finds it really hard to value their emotions. It's very much about the kind of head, driven by that energy of the head. Whereas you are much more about your creativity and your emotions. You get your creativity from your emotions, Pisces. I don't know if you are kind of aware of the link between the two of them, but I feel that there is very strongly a link between your creativity and your emotional sense. We have the Three of Swords and the Ace of Swords in reverse. Interesting. Over the top of the Temperance or Patience card. So for me, again, with this Three of Swords here, it's saying that this one's in reverse, this one's upright. So this is saying that it's like you're carrying it across with you. It's like you can't run away from this. At some point you're going to have to turn around and face it. I think that's what this is saying here, because if you look at her here, she's not looking. She's not looking. It's like she doesn't want to face it. She doesn't want to go there. She doesn't want to, like I was saying, acknowledge it, because there's a lot of, I feel a lot of heartache behind this. And I feel it's got something to do with this energy here. This heartache of not being accepted for who you were, Pisces. And it causing a lot of heartache and a lot of suffering in your life. And this Ace of Swords here, in reverse, is also saying to me that you are not wanting to. You are not want. It's like I feel as though you want to stop the battle. You want to stop the fight. You want to stop. You just don't want it to keep going. Because here, when it's upright, you can see Athene here. She's kind of ready for battle. She's standing there. The sword is drawn. She's ready. This sword here, because this sword also appears here, which I was going to mention earlier, but I didn't. The sword kind of has the ability to cut through things, to discern. It can be used as discernment. It's like a focus, a laser, seeing to the truth, kind of seeing things very sharply, clearly. But when it's up this way, I feel it's more about a sense of you having had enough of kind of battling. And I feel on some level it's also about battling with yourself here. Pisces, that you've had enough of this battle with yourself inwardly. And you want to kind of put that sword down. You want to kind of, you know, you don't want to have to keep taking on that stance. That stance of like, you know, I'm prepared, I'm ready. Particularly I feel when it comes to this energy here. Or this energy of not being accepted. And you having to kind of take on this energy. This logical, very kind of brain-driven energy. And I do feel, Pisces, that on some level you kind of have had enough of that. Because you do feel as well that you're not being true and honest to yourself, which could also be this 7 card here as well. This 7 that you actually, it's you that you're deceiving rather than anybody else with all of this. So let's see, lastly, what the Moon Wisdom cards have to say before we move on to the Namaste Blessing card or cards, and also the Crystal Diva cards. So I'm not going to read all of both of them because the time is definitely running away, as it does. But there is needing to be a balance, and again I do feel as though that balance is the emotions over the logic, and that the logic is where you, how can I put it? The logic is where you turn to, because it's almost what has been, I wouldn't say forced on you as such, but it's kind of a conditioning energy. I feel as though somebody is kind of, from your childhood, kind of very much, you know, tried to convince you that that's what it's all about. Very academic energy I'm picking up here. Very academia kind of connected energy. Okay, we have New Moon in Leo, and it says confidence is your key to success, which is interesting because I feel that that is that kind of energy here. As I was saying, that Mars energy, that confidence, that need, because this is also a fire sign as well. Leo, the fire, feeding this fire, this confidence. But I also feel it's confidence for you to stand up for who you actually are, and to no longer take this energy on board. Confidence in you, confidence in who you are, what you do, why you do it. Confidence maybe in also accepting that this is a part of you and you can't ignore it forever. It's who you are. It's very sensitive, tuned in, very psychic, for want of a better word, energy, person, feeling, knowing, energy. So we get 2, and I will read this one for you first. Although it's difficult because I haven't got any light behind me, so I'm going to have to take my glasses off and try and read it closer. Okay, a blessing through emotional upheaval, it says. An emotional storm is forming and things may seem chaotic for a while, but as the storm subsides, a blessing is revealed. Respect all points of view, for we each view the world a little differently. Things are being shaken up for a good reason, and all involved will benefit. Which kind of, for me, and I was going to mention this, is this storm here in the background. And also you had the Chariot energy as well, the Chariot card. I can't remember where it was exactly. Too many cards on the table again. Here we go. This card here also has this stormy look behind it as well, if you look here. This storm that you're kind of standing in front of and you almost know that it's coming. So that's one Namaste blessing card for you here, Pisces. And I just feel as though it's you kind of standing up for who you are. Again, that sense of like, you know, respecting this other person's point of view, but also saying to them, you know, that is you, that's not me, that's not my energy, it's not who I am. And maybe you've tried that in the past as well, but maybe things have changed. Pisces, you also get this beautiful card here, which is called Life's Blessings. And it says, life bestows her blessing. She is the wind of change flowing through you, and this change is your blessing. Don't try to hold on, no matter how unsettling it may seem, for all will magically transform when the time is right. When you look back, you will see only love. That's a really beautiful card. Really beautiful card. And I think it's that whole surrender, let it go. Breathe, surrender, let it go kind of energy for me. Don't try to hold on, no matter how unsettling. So if you have to let go of things, Pisces, then maybe this is a good time for you to do that. Let it go, and if it comes back, then it's meant to be there. And if it doesn't, then you need to just move on without it. Not as easy to do as it is for me to sit here and say it. I do appreciate that. But sometimes that's what we really need to do in order to change the energy as well, because sometimes the more we kind of stand here in this stance of wanting to change it or wanting to fight with it, you know, it's like we're attracting that to us. So we just keep going over the same, and I feel that that's what this is here. You know, just kind of get to that point. But I also feel that point is about you not being happy with who you are, in that sense, that you know that there's more to you. You know that there's this kind of emptiness that needs to be filled. So you have two Crystal Diva cards as well. We have Angelite, which is self-expression. The chakra is the throat chakra, and its colour is blue. So it's about communication being a blue colour, and both of these sword cards here are also about communication. And I feel it is also about communication to do with this energy of you being hurt, wounded, and that wound still hasn't disappeared. It's still there because you've got the Three of Swords twice, Pisces. So it says, angels are our unseen friends, always at your side. They are your constant guardians and helpmates. Many of you were incorrectly taught that angels are accessible to you only when you die. Angels are ever near and available to you. This is that psychic realm, Pisces, that I was talking about. This is this here, the call, the angels, the spirit guides, the universe, as I like to call it, the kind of energy. Most of you have probably had experience with angels in your life. Perhaps some miracle occurred whereby you were protected in an accident. Maybe you were stranded, with no apparent chance for help when someone happened along. These may have been angelic interactions. Angels are not only in heaven, as you picture them. Some angels have volunteered for service on the earth plane. They walk among you every day. You may be working with the angelic kingdom yourself, although you may not be consciously aware of it. If you bring joy, hope, friendship and laughter into the lives of others, you may be an angel. Other life forms have also volunteered to work in an angelic capacity on Earth. There are representatives in all the kingdoms. We are one of these. We are not the only mineral working with the angelic kingdom. In this way, perhaps others in the mineral kingdom will share their angelic work with you. It is our honour to speak with you, human sister or brother. Our colour and name are intended to remind you of the accessibility of angels. Our colour is that of the heavens, the blue sky above you. Our name is significant because we work closely with the angelic kingdom in a cooperative mission here on Earth. Sorry about that glare. As a messenger from the angelic kingdom who has chosen to work from the earth plane, we do all that we can to help the earth function optimally. You are aware that the earth's physical and spiritual bodies are under great stress. The continuing pollution and degradation of the earth's land, oceans and atmosphere present a tremendous challenge for all of us who are working for the earth's good. The earth is a great spirit and will survive, although many of its life forms may not. And I think this is the energy, Pisces, that you kind of are picking up on a deeper psychic kind of subconscious awareness way. There was a time when the human kingdom worked with the other kingdoms continuously. However, over the millennia, with your individual pursuits and preoccupations, you forgot that our first directive was to protect our mother, the earth. We do not chastise or blame you for this. Please do not misunderstand. We know that forgetting was important to your learning and growth, individually and as a species. Remembering is also part of that plan. All kingdoms have divisions which lead us from our paths. Sorry, diversions. I can't read with my glasses on. I am going to take them off. which lead us from our paths. Ultimately, we return in a fuller way. It is the way of evolution. We call upon you now, brothers and sisters, to use this remarkable talent of self-expression. And that's what I think this is all about. This self-expression and this confidence in your self-expression as well, to know who you are and where you're coming from. The throat chakra is the centre of expression, and humans are particularly gifted in using the voice and words. Whether you are more comfortable using words orally or in written form, we ask you to speak out as an advocate for planet Earth and all its inhabitants. Be an example for your fellow humans and also for some non-terrestrials who are gathering here for the millennium. That was when this book was written. There is universal interest in this next step of enlightenment for the planet, which is taking place now, may I add, although it may not seem like it is. This may be a new concept for you. All entities need love for survival. Love nourishes each and every one of us. We miss your love, and the being, planet Earth, is horribly ill from lack of it. Help us heal her and ourselves. Your self-expression is more than just your voice. You have many methods of expression available to you. All of you have talents. If you're a carpenter or plumber, dedicate your time to projects like Habitat for Humanity and help build a home for those who would not have otherwise had one. So I'm going to skip a bit here because we've got another card to read. If you drew our card today, you may be looking for new means of expression. Although your desire is great, you may be reluctant to express yourself in an unfamiliar way. Many of you have been criticised or ridiculed while trying out new skills or using your talents. And I think that's where this card stems from as well, the kind of being told, no, that's not right, that's wrong, you can't do it like that, kind of has made this empty kind of hole within you, Pisces. Unless you can be sure of success, you would rather not risk embarrassment. This fear of failure robs you of your life. You never know what may fulfill you or be a contribution until you try it. Please do not pass up an opportunity because of fear. We promise that the rewards are worth the risk. So quickly, the second card that came out here is Amber, and it's the solar plexus energy, and its colour is gold, and I feel it relates to this energy here. Because for me, this is the lower chakras, the 3 lower chakra energies, which is all about our relationship to our survival, our connection with our planet. And this card itself is called Non-Resistance. And it says the earth is a school for cosmic learning, for soul growth, for evolution. Life is continuously presenting instructions through experience. Sometimes the lessons are hard, filled with sorrow and pain. Perhaps a loved one leaves you through death or to be with another. In the midst of your despair, it may be difficult to recognise that there is something to be learnt from the ordeal you are facing. Sometimes the greatest lesson of the many that this experience brings may be that of an encouraging non-resistance, letting go. Long after physical separation occurs, you may spend years or decades holding on emotionally, and I feel very much that that's what this is about. These two energies here, this holding on to things, and I keep saying let go and breathe, and let go and breathe, and kind of keep that process going. You may be clinging to a reality that no longer exists except for the energy you supply to it, which I do feel is this Devil card. Again, that feeding that energy. You are kind of feeding into it, allowing it to still consume you. You are unable to move forward because you are stuck like the insect in the amber. And if you look at that card, which I've lost. I am all over the place, Pisces. I think I'm picking up on your energy today. It's all over, scattered, everywhere. Where did that card go? Literally, I have lost it. It has gone into a different note. There it is. Gone into a different dimension. There we go. See, there is this little insect there, stuck in the amber. And that's what I was also saying about this energy here. This kind of staying stuck in that place, not taking that extra step. Unlike the insect, you have the power to release yourself from your bondage. Your resistance is your prison. Your resistance to what has happened is your denial of the truth. It is time to free yourself. Here we go with that sword of truth. It is time to free yourself. Spread your spirit wings and fly. Rise above what is anchoring you. Spirit wings. So what is anchoring you so tightly and keeping you earthbound? It is non-resistance that allowed us to change our identity from one kingdom to another. We start our life in the plant kingdom as the lifeblood of the tree. As we move from a liquid to a solid state, we undergo a transmutation and become a bridge between the plant and mineral kingdoms. We are the embodiment of adaptability and what it can accomplish when the mineral kingdom opened its heart to us and adopted a foreigner into its family. It served as a further example of non-resistance. That's that energy that I'm feeling, that kind of holding yourself back because you can't just let it go and just go with that flow. Once you know where your resistance lies, sit and meditate on our golden colour. We work with the solar plexus, the representation of the sun in the human body. Let us mend. Does it say mend? Sorry, let us melt the rigidity and fear that perpetrate your situation so that you can move through it. Become the sap. Feel the liquid state you become, flowing, unimpeded, pushing through any obstruction. Move whatever has been in your way out of your way. And I feel that's what this is about. It is about going into that energy of flowing with everything and becoming a part of it all, which is a very Pisces energy. It's a very 12th house Neptunian energy, is realizing that there is no disconnection, there is no separateness, everything is just all energy. And that's, I feel, what you are looking for, Pisces. That's what you realize on a deep level is missing. Even in our solid mineral state, we are always moving, pulsing, flowing. So are you. It is only your attachments and resistance that bind you up. Welcome the energy and help of the universe to travel through you. When the universe presents its education, it has no intention of causing you pain or harming you. It is actually you yourself who have developed the lesson plan. The universe only implements what you have set into motion for your own growth. Non-resistance is one way of dealing with the circumstances that life presents. Move beyond the emotionality and into the spirituality. Learn, you are the teacher, you are the student. Join the divine flow. So Pisces, it was a very kind of, I feel, intense read, which is what I was kind of picking up from the start of this. And I think there's a real message there for it, for you behind this reading. If you have, like I said, liked my reading, please could you just thumbs it up for me, tap the bell. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please also do so if you so feel the desire to get my other readings as well. And I really hope, Pisces, that this reading has been of some help to you. I really hope that it's going to help you come to terms more with what's going on within yourself as well at this difficult time that you're in. And I'm just going to say, I hope that next time I do a reading for you, Pisces, that things are kind of settled down more for you and you're feeling more grounded and kind of less, what's the word, kind of less out of control in some way. So I'm going to finish the reading there and say thank you very much to those of you who have watched it. And Pisces, I really do hope that you are well. Take care of yourself and take care of others if you can. Thank you.